Hello, 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 and welcome back to FRLT Season 3 Fours. We return. And it is round number 9, the finale of the season. Yes, it is the finale. We've reached the final race of Fours, round number 9, here at Silverstone. Gonna be an interesting one to see. We're just getting some of the last drivers in and stuff. I think we've got 4 more drivers waiting to get in. Be getting them in incredibly shortly, hopefully. I'm getting. We just got to wait for. I think we've only waiting on one more team. That's the VL team. So we might be a minute or two late, but we're just missing. Actually, we're just missing 2 VL drivers right now. But yeah, so let's have a look at the track map. As you can see, it is a long track, 5.891 kilometers, 3.660 miles, 18 turns, 2 DRS zones down the Wellington Straight and the Hangar Straight. Also, looking at the standings, SET just edge out a little bit further in front of TTRE after Belgium. It went from being a 4-point gap. Now it is up to a 7-point gap. It's incredibly close right now. So, with that, as you can see, XPG kind of on their own. Looks like they might not really be caught or beaten. But yes, so I need to find somebody now, because of course this game is not being fun for me today. So yeah, so we are sorting. But yeah, VL, bottom of the championship after last race. Disappointing, I think, for VL to now drop 10 points behind AB. It's not exactly what they were looking for. So yeah, it's a pretty disappointing one. We're waiting on, I think, 1 or 2 more drivers. Waiting on 3 more drivers now. So we will be getting going in the next about minute or so. Let's... So yeah, so we're going to be getting going in the next minute or so. So we should be having about 18 drivers. Who are we actually missing right now? We're missing Ferraris. We're missing both Ferraris right now. So 2 XPGs. We're also missing... So yeah, so we are missing 2 XPGs at the moment. So XPG looking like they're probably going to stay in their nice 3rd place, pick up another trophy here in FRLT. But we should be getting going any minute now. In the next minute or so. So yeah, going in a minute. So yeah, so the championship finale. We're coming to the final race of fours. Interesting one we're gonna see. The driver's now in. Now we're able to get going. Drivers are now readying up. We've got the final 18th driver in. We should have 20 realistically, but we've only got 18 since we are missing 2 Ferraris tonight. But that is sometimes the way it goes, so we'll have to get on with it now. Yeah, Great Britain. Time for round number 9 of season 3 of the Fours Championship. We've got a short qualifying, followed then by a 26 lap race. It's going to be an interesting one to watch because, of course, it is the legendary Silverstone that everybody loves, a home Grand Prix. And it is raining, by the way. It is heavy rain. Say nonetheless, and this game is deciding not to load. There we go. Now it's working. My apologies. It's now working, as you can see. Sorry about that. It's just a slight technical issue, but it is raining. We're about to get going any second now. And we are now in two qualifying, and it's now started 18 minutes on the clock. That's all the drivers have to get going. So the time the drivers have to get out there. It is heavy rain. I think it's going to be full on wet conditions. Full wet conditions. Going to be an interesting one. TTRE versus SET in the Constructors' Championship. Both teams gunning it here in the final race of the season, by the way. Both of them 7 points apart. Huge amounts of points on the table, of course. 20 points. The driver can score 20 points on their own, by the way, with I think it is, of course, win, pole, and fastest lap. You can score 20 points on your own. So it is decently high. You can score 59 points as a team, by the way, in a single race. These teams may be hoping to pick up the first of those 59 points here right now. VEL very much needing one of those 59 points, as at the moment sitting in last of the Constructors, 79 points, 10 points behind AB after Belgium. I'm afraid to say their Fours campaign has been very much the opposite of their tier very much the opposite of their tier 1 campaign. They've been much better in the 2s category than the 4s. 79 points so far. I think they've got 43, 44, I think, in the tier 1 category. So they've got quite a lot. They've got a decent amount of points compared to here, where of course they've only got 79. But VEL pushing for championship. We're now up to a full grid, by the way. We've gotten the final 2 drivers in, which is nice. We've actually gotten the final 2 in. Heading down to start off his lap, to start off qualifying, it is Tavernier who's making his way round towards the line. He'll start. Of course, we're going to have much slower lap times since these guys are on the wet tyres. Have to let off the throttle a bit through turn 1. Treacherous conditions out there through turn 2. Now into turn 3 and 4. Got to get the car turned in for Village. Through here, this section, you've got to get it right. Into the left-hander. Not too bad. The car doesn't look too slippy from Tavernier. But it's a little bit slippy off the exit there. Now heading down the Wellington straight. Another time you'll be able to go flat out, about equal with the dry times. Into this long left-hander before you reach Luffield. Now through into Luffield. Deciding to go with that middle sort of line. Bit tighter to the corner. Off the exit. Heading down towards the old pit start. The old pit start straight before we hit Cops. Full speed. Fastest corner still on the track. Even in these heavy wet conditions. Fastest corner. But a massive amount of sliding from Tavernier into the Maggots and Beckett's through the left, hooking it up into the right. Looks very stable at medium speed, I must say. Tavernier looking incredibly stable at medium speed. Lap time's about 9 seconds slow, about 10 seconds slower than you'd expect in dry conditions. Heading round Stowe Corner. A couple of yellow flags out there. Into the final chicane, 3 corners to navigate left. Into now the final corner coming up. You've got to get around this long corner. You can spin on it. You've got to be careful on the curb. Across the line, it's a 1 minute 40.633 is the time to beat. That will be the time for everybody to now beat in the session. Next driver coming round is... It is actually his teammate Simba who's coming round, who's come out on the intermediate tyres. But he's a lot slow. He's seconds slow at the moment, by the way. 5 seconds slow, almost entire 5 seconds. So 1 minute 45.212 is what he set. So it's not been a good lap from himself. We've got Hammy coming round. We look to Williams. That is Daniel. Daniel coming round for XPG. What can he do? He can't beat the lap time. It's a 41.037 is what he set. Not zeros. Goes quite a bit faster. 4/10 quicker. 1 minute 40.2 set. Cason White doesn't do well. He does a 41.0 as well. Oh, there's an Alpine in the wall. There is an Alpine in the wall. That was Statlev who went round. Manolo into third. He's still half a second away from provisional pole. Edward goes P6 now. Statlev, of course, slowest of them all. I think we just saw E69 go up to P7, 1 minute 42 from himself, so still quite far off for the lap time for now, not where he wants to be. Tagier also goes P8. At the moment, though, it's not looking too good. I don't think we haven't seen any SCTs cross the line yet. I think we're about to see one. That's Unai Vega who crosses the line. He goes P7, and that was just an Aston Martin who crossed the line. That was TTRE Trusted. He's in only P8, so he didn't do a great lap in all of it. Wasn't the best. Snipes is the next driver to come around. He's on the intermediate tyres. It's not going to be a fast lap. It's going to be far off of it, I must say. He is only going to go P11. And then I think we got a Haas improving. That's Simba, who now goes P2. VEL coming out with a very good day so far. Exactly what they've needed. I think we've got Daniel who's coming up to the line again. He's pushing on his lap, but we've got to look to Hammy who's coming round. He's got to go quick. He's not good. Intermediates are not the tyre to go on. That's P13 and one of the slowest times of the night. And Oda Notex, fastest of all on Inters, 1 minute 39.642. Massive amount of lap time found. The hammer time just went P3. Amazing lap time from himself. Not zeros has just started another run as well. We got Fake coming around. Fake Mono. And he goes P9. Slightly off. I think we've got Statlev who's coming around. He's invalidated his lap. And then there's Geekin, who's going to be the last one to come round. He's also on the intermediates. But STC setting the pace. Fastest of them all. But overall, SET slightly, I'd say just slightly in front overall, because still 19th, 12th, and 10th is where the 3 other drivers sit. And across the line, Geekin now goes fastest by over a tenth quicker, just over a tenth. The 1 minute 39.531 is now the time to beat. Getting quicker and quicker from the drivers, I must say. And that's something we like to see. Not Zeros has invalidated his lap as well. That's not going to help his efforts here tonight. We've got Daniel, who's coming around again on another lap. Is he improving? I do not know whether he's improving or he isn't. He is going on a lap, though. He is pushing. I don't think he might be improving. I'm not 100% sure whether he is or he isn't. So let's see when he crosses the line. The rain has definitely got lighter, though. And the lap times are getting a lot closer and getting a lot lower because Daniel's just gone P2, 1 minute 39.565. So it is still on the line at the moment. Statlev, it's Zwart who's coming around. Somebody's coming up the line. Kason White came across the line, 1 minute 39.3. We're getting closer to the 1 minute 38. Lap times are coming down further, and further. Getting even closer. I think Geekin heading around slowly. He's not pushing on his lap at the moment. Who is actually on a push lap? It's Pavanir who's coming around on a slow lap. We've got somebody coming around. Unai Vega, who's improving, by the way, by almost 7/10 of a second. That would currently send him up to roughly about P9, as it would stand. He is on the wet tyres, as opposed to his teammates who haven't been on those tyres. They've all gone inters. He goes P6 in the end. So SET looking a little bit better in their form. Looking a lot closer together. And exactly what they needed. Anton is coming around. He's improving by 0.8 of a second. He's now up by 1.5 seconds. This is going to definitely land him into the top 5 at least. So SET pushing everything they've got out there to perform. And this is exactly what we're talking about, you know. This is exactly what teams like SET... Whoa, what a big moment for Anton. I think he's still going to gain lap time, but I don't think the XPG has particularly helped him. I think that's Hammy who was across the line. Yes, it is. Anton still goes fastest to a 1 minute 39.3. Not beating that lap just yet, but it is just enough. In the end, we just saw Zwart come across the line. He's gone P3 now, just slotting in there. We've got both Saubers just starting their laps. I think we've got a Ferrari coming up to the line next. That's Mono's coming across. Let's see what he does. He goes P11. Solid there. XPG not on the best of qualifying days so far. Neither are TTRE. Currently sitting second, 8th, 16th and 19th. Not where they really want to be at all. And Trusted has just started his lap. Let's see what Trusted will do on the intermediates. The rain is a lot lighter. It's gotten, well, I wouldn't say a lot lighter, but at least a bit lighter than when we started. It doesn't seem as hazardous, but we can still see Trusted going round. He's not confident. Trusted it doesn't look like he's confident in these conditions at the moment. He seems to be struggling quite a bit, same as his teammate Snipes. Both struggled on their first runs, down in 16th and 19th at the moment, need a massive amount of time. He is up by over a second already in his first sector, so it's actually been a really good first sector to see from Trusted. Going to send him up to about a 40.1 as it stands, but he's got to keep going. He's got to keep pushing. He cannot slow down for the moment. He's got to keep the pace there. As you can see, he's got to try and keep the pace there. He's got to try and keep going in all of this. Trusted coming around. Let's see what his middle sector. Manolo goes fastest of them all. He goes to a 1 minute 39.2. He just beats Anton and Kason White to provisional pole. I think we're going to see it come down. Trusted up by 1.7. He hasn't gained a lot in the middle sector. Only half a second. He hasn't gained a huge amount. Seeing some drivers jump up the order. I think that was Tagir who's just gone up. Who went up to P14 and Hammer time up to 8th as well, by the way. So a few drivers are gaining some lap time. Let's see what Trusted's going to do. Is he going to beat the fastest lap here so far. Provisional lap time. Yes, he is. He beats it by another 10th to go to a 1 minute 39.1. The lap times are coming down. They're coming down incredibly quickly. And I think we got Simba who's on lap. He's invalidated. He was up by over 2 seconds. He would have gone to provisional pole. A lot faster we're seeing from himself. I think we've got Kaysen. Is it Kaysen White? No, it's not. It's Zeros is coming around. He's up by about 2 seconds. He is going to go to provisional fastest. TTRE pushing for the title going into this first race. They want to claim this title. The Tier 1 campaign has not been great. On Wednesday, they captured their first podium of the season. Probably their only, but not. Zeros goes into P1 provisional pole. 1 minute 37.791. What a lap time set by the Mercedes. Exactly what we expected to see. I think we got somebody on a fast lap. That is E69. Abiini, the big knight as well. And at the moment, they're not having it. 17th and 18th from the duo of McLarens. And across the line, he goes P4. This is definitely going to shake up the order. We're going to be waiting to see who else is actually finishing off a lap. That's Tagir who's finished off his lap. He goes P7 when he crosses the line. Very nice for himself. I think we've got Snipes. It's not Snipes. It's the other Aston Martin. It's Trusted who's coming around. He's coming into the pits though, so he's done on his lap. He's not... I don't think he'll be particularly too happy with his lap. Daniel is coming in. He's not happy on the wets. I think we got Anton. He's on his out lap right now. I think Geekin as well is just starting his lap. Not Zeros is the next one coming around. Who is the next driver on a lap? I'm trying to figure out who's next. So we've got Hammy, we've got Edward. Snipes is going to be the next. He's up by almost 3 seconds. But even though he's up by almost 3 seconds, that's still only going to put him about P14. So it's only going to be about 5 places gained because his first lap was so far off, so he has no clue. But he's invalidated anyway. It's so corner. I think we might be seeing at least one TTRE start outside of the top 15. All the other 3 look like they'll start, as it stands, inside of the top 6, but most likely inside of the top 10 by the end of qualifying. Somebody's had a bit of a moment out on track. That is Unai Vega, who's actually gone off into the gravel. It's Unai Vega who's gone off into the gravel in the end. And I think that was... I think somebody's just started lap. That's Kaysen White who's just started his lap. Let's watch Edward, by the way. Crosses line. He goes into P2. Very strong lap there into a 1 minute 38. Hammy is best. Goes to a 39.0. No more changes for now. I don't think we've got anybody else who's close to the line just yet. I think it's actually going to be Geekin, who's going to be the next one to cross the line to set a lap. I think everybody's a bit out of tune with each other. Nobody's gone at the exact same time. We've got a massive group, though. I do say we do have quite a large group. Geekin now goes fastest. 1 minute 36.684. Just over a second. 1.1 seconds, by the way, taken out of Zeros. And TTRE are going to have to cough up a huge amount of time now. As Zeros has just made his way out of the pits. He's not sure whether he'll be able to make it, though. Neither am I. I'm not too sure whether he'll be able to make it or not. So we'll have to see. He's left it incredibly late. Kaysen White will be the next driver to cross the line. He's only up by about 0.4 of a second. Snipes has retired. That's TTRE. 1 man down now. Here in the final part of qualifying. 19th will be the best Kaysen White that Snipes can do. But what can Kaysen White do? He's slowed down. He's not happy with his lap. He's going to be going again. Who have we got next? We've got a Red Bull. I think that's Unai Vega. He's invalidated though, so it's not gone well for him. It's Edward who's coming across the line next. Is Edward improving on his lap? It's been a bit of a scruffy one. And across the line, is he going to improve? No, he won't. Sorry, he does. By just about 0.2 of a second, he improves. Not a huge amount, though. Not what he wanted. Got drivers going all over the place at the moment. Waiting to figure out who's next. Geekin has invalidated his lap. I don't think he's going to have another run at it. The hammer time! goes into P3. Anton now goes into P5. Sorry, Otanotux. He goes P2 onto the front row. Geekin's going to be going for his final run here. Who is out there on their own? That's Tagia. He's on his own out there. You can see Zeros is just crossing the line now. It is a Mercedes out there. It is Kason White. He's up by 6/10 in the first sector. He's actually had a really good first sector. Exactly what he needed. That's already going to send him up to about P6. But he needs to find over a second in his lap. Has he found it? In the middle sector? Yes, he has. He's found 1.7. It's a purple middle sector. He is absolutely gunning for it. But you can see Tagir and Unknown already done for the day. So is Snipes. Tagir didn't make the line. Neither did Zwart. So it's a bit of disappointment there for both of them. Left it a bit too late. Kason White will be the first to cross the line. What can Kason White do when he does cross the line? Coming round the final corner. Will it be fastest? No, it won't. It will be P3, though. It will still be a decent lap time. I think somebody... That's Unite Vega who's just crossed the line. He's gone P7. I think we got Trusted across the line next. Yes, we do. He goes into P5 now. We got E69 goes P5. I think we're just going to be seeing a bunch of people jumping up the order. No clue in what order they'll jump up the order in. Daniel now goes P9. We see Statlov goes into P11. I think we got a slow Red Bull. No, it's Anton who's coming across the line. He goes P4. Is it going to be a top 4 dominated by these guys? Fate goes into 14th. Then we see Pavanir going up into P12. Geekin on his lap. He does not improve. Does he have to improve, though? I don't know. Manolo now goes into 5th place. Zeros goes into P2. Simba also into P2. Barely misses out just by such a small amount he misses out by. But it is SET on pole. And overall, SET on top. 1st, 4th, 6th, and ultimately 12th. TTRE, definitely the team chasing here. Currently 3rd, 5th, and 10th. They're definitely the team chasing, but there is a battle going on at the moment. SET would win the Constructors. Because remember, TTRE have to score at least 8 points more than SET to win the Constructors. But with SET on pole, they've now got to score an extra point. So not 8, they've got to score 9. But here is the grid order. Geekin on pole, followed by Simba, Zeros, Odonotics, Kason Y, Antov, Manolo, the Hammer Time, E69, and Trusted to finish out the top 10. Daniel in 11th, Unai Vega, Statlov, Pavanir, Edward, Hammy, Mono, Tagir, Unknown, and finally Snipes in 20th and last, not where TCRE would need him. We're going to be reading up in about 2 minutes' time. I can confirm, by the way, that extra point now means TTRE have to score 9 more points than SCT, which is a nice point to put in their back pocket here tonight. It's a really nice point that they need to put in their back pocket. I think that brings them to 210 or 209, either one. I think it's 210. It brings SCT to. But yeah, absolutely crazy from them. Absolutely great stuff to see. We love to see it, don't we? We love to see a cheeky pole position here and there. About to get ready for the race in about 2 minutes' time. Very close, though, for pole. 3 drivers all in it. But it is dry for the race. So I think we're going to be seeing massive changes in the grid. I think we're going to be seeing massive changes on pace on the grid because purely of that. But it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in FRLT 4's, the finale of round 9 in Season 3. SET versus TTRE. Geekin has got an amazing getaway. So is Simba. They've broken away a bit. That's a good start. And even better for SET. Round the outside, Zeros is trying to go for it on Simba. It is all out battling. Simba, is he going to lose out? Is he? No, he's not letting that position go. He is still fighting over that position he needs. Trusted has gone off. Oh, Snipes is down. So is E69. They've had a moment. Zeros unable to get past the man of Simba. Trying to go round the outside now. It's not going to work. And he's going to still stay behind the Haas just for these few moments. But Trusted down to 18th. Snipes down to last place. It is not looking good. It's 1st and 5th at the moment. It's not looking good at all. Look at this side-by-side through cops. Anton versus Manolo. Getting a little bit close for comfort there. A little bit too close, definitely. And there goes Pavanir past ABE Edward for P9. Extra position gained and some extra points for VEL here tonight. Another 2 points gained. Well, another point, I should really say. But Geekin off in the lead now. He's taking this lead quite dominantly, about half a second off now. He's starting to take a bit of a lead in this race, but he's got to hold on to it. Because that extra point in pole will maybe give SET a little bit of confidence coming into the race, but this has given them even more confidence from the poor start from TTRE, 17th and 20th now. It's really not going their way. Statlev, he's had a moment. Statlev is round. He's down to 19th, and I think that is Statlev's day. Over and done pretty much from being able to score points. It's not particularly what ABE would want going into today. Now only one driver inside of the top 10, and currently they could lose their constructors battle with, it is within reach still for VEL to beat AB in the constructors. Heading down towards left field now we go. Geekin continues his lead in this race here on lap 2, and SET continue their title charge on TTRE. Final race. This is the final fight for the championship. It's crazy to think that this is the final fight. Look at this Pavanir trying to get round Anton. Anton really struggling on his medium tyres. But we've got to remember Pavanir is on the soft tyres. And so Pavanir is slightly faster for the moment. Looking at it though, as you can see, tyre-wise, we've got 3 soft runners and a hard runner from Snipes. Good start from Pavanir, up 6, same as Swart as well. Edward as well, up 5, same as Mono. So a couple of drivers going up. Bad start from E69 and also from Trusted, who's down 6 and 9 respectively. But that is a decent start from both. And that is... it's an interesting start to see. Otonotic's taking the lead. And that is Snipes who's gone round. Trusted now going up to 15th. He's kind of dropped off a bit off of Daniel. He needs to try and catch up. Daniel's also dropped off of Zwart quite a bit as well. About 7/10 off, so it's getting a little bit out of control. Trusted on the softs though, it isn't entirely working. But Anton as well, he's not letting by the man of Pavanir. He knows tyre-wise later on in the race they're not on the same strategy, but Anton's still battling this. He's not now, he's let him by. But I think you can see the frustration that Anton has. He's kind of stuck between, he's sandwiched between soft tyre runners, and it's points being lost at the moment. 3 points for 8th, another point for 10th. You know, sort of only 4 points being gathered from those 2 drivers there. Yeah, they're gaining another 11s. They are gaining 15 points there. And then Snipes now retires. That is TTRE down a man already on lap 3. I'm not feeling like this is going to be TTRE's day. I do not feel like it is TTRE's day at all. They're already down to 3 drivers. I don't think this is where they want to be. Not at all. I think we could all agree this is not where they want to be at all. As we could see, there's a bit, you can see Zeros getting a little bit close for comfort to the man of Simba. Very much all over the back of that Haas. He really wants to get into second, doesn't he? He's pushing now. He is going to go for the move. He's going for it. He's pushing for it. Can he get the move past Simba? Should be pretty easy. He has been able to make the move, but look at that from Otonotix as well. Feeling the confidence coming from the Racing Bull, going around the outside. He's trying to make it work. He's also got a bit of slipstream as well. He's using his ERS. He's using what he's got. He's also using that slipstream to pull him through. And into third he goes. And this is really, at the moment, TTRE's death warrant that it's really not going to work. It's a guarantee that TTRE won't win the Constructors as long as SET are first and third. They've currently got all 4 cars inside of the top 10, while TTRE only have 2. So as it stands, they're not going to win the Constructors. But Zeros now takes the lead of the race. For the first time, TTRE back into control and back up into pushing for points and pushing for another victory this season. They've struggled a bit lately to bring through a victory, but they've got to push this race. And let's see whether they will, because we know Geekin will keep up with Zeros for as long as he can, and he's not going to let that Mercedes go at all. Especially with DRS, it's practically impossible to break away. So we'll have to see what happens here on lap 5. Still 21 more laps of this race needed before it's over. It's still a very long battle. We do know the mediums will go till about lap 13 to 15. So they haven't got... It's between lap 10 to 15 that the medium tires will go in. Soft runners might go in about lap 7 or 8. So softs don't have a lot of strength on them. Statlev round. More disappointment for AB as well today. They're not doing well. None of them inside of the top 10, by the way, as it stands. It's just completely fallen away for AB and their hopes. But their hope is still there, because there's still a bit of hope. They're hoping Simba has a bad race here, because that means that they will hold on to 4th. But as it stands, they'll drop down to 3rd in the Constructor. They'll drop down to 5th in the Constructors and last. Not Zero's leads, but I think I'm going to see a swap for the lead. Yes, we are. But it's actually going to be both SETs who are going to pull through. Zero's very much against the man of Otonotix trying to get through. He's using his ERS. He's trying to use what he's got to stay in front. He has been able to stay in front, but just about. Pavanir, by the way, getting past Manolo for 6th place. But he's struggling on his soft tyres now. They're not as strong as they were. He is really struggling to keep the car going and to keep it on track. And that's going to be something that is going to definitely lose him time as the race goes on. Something that you definitely don't want. Still heading round. Pavanir with speed. He's on those soft tyres. They'll be almost entirely worn by now. So the softs will really be struggling. You can see they really are, because there goes Anton back up into the points. And he pushes past both drivers. SET. Oh, well, that's Pavanir round. Not entirely, but just slightly enough that he's lost 3 places there and down to 11th. And outside the points he goes. VEL's hopes disappearing slightly there for himself. But it's more hope for SET, because Unai Vega's now up to 8th. Anton up to 6th. Otonotix in 3rd. And Geekin leading this race. As it stands, I think we know who's going to win the Constructors. It will be SET. They've just, I don't know what it is in the last sort of 2-3 races. They've really brought their consistency. Last season in 4s, they were one of the bottom teams. They were considered the slowest team in 4s, by the way, last season. Yeah, it is true. SET was considered the slowest team. Same for Tier 2 as well in Season 2. But here in 4s this season, they're coming out as possibly the quickest team. I still think, in my opinion, TTRE with overall pace have been quicker, but I think SET have just struck when TTRE have struggled and been a bit weaker, and they've, sometimes they've missed races, they miss a race or two, they've struggled a bit, and I think it started to come through quite clearly, the struggle we're seeing. Hello, Timon, welcome to the stream, I hope you're having a great day. But we'll have to see. And into the braking zone. There goes Otonotix down the inside. I don't think there's a lot, really, Zeros can do. Bit of battling between teammates, but trying to keep it clean so they can pull out in front. And there goes SET into a 1-2, while TTRE a 3-4. It's not working well for TTRE. I think we know who is probably going to win the Constructors as it stands. But there's still a long way to go in this race. You know, we've still got another 19 laps to go. There's still a very long way. And it is an interesting one, I must say. It is going to be an interesting one as the race goes on. Kason White, a quiet race from himself. We've got some battling. Oh, that is not Zeros, partly getting spun round. He's now going to drop down back to P5. Holy. It's getting a little bit intense out front. SET defending their battle for lead as much as they can. And Zeros feeling the brute force of it. The top 5 kind of on their own slightly as it stands. They're on their own very much slightly. The only ones within DRS. But from then, 6th. From 6th down to 12th are all within DRS of each other. So they don't really want this group behind them to catch them. They don't really want Anton's group to catch them because the minute he's within a second, he won't let go. And of course, we'll see a lot of battling. But here comes Kason White now. He's trying to go for a push. Not able to just yet. Look at this. Simba versus Kason versus Zeros over P4 here. Don't think Simba wants to let go of P4. And I don't think he's going to. Still battling as they make their way round to cops. It's always interesting to see what these guys are doing. Simba does have to concede in the end. But it's always interesting to see how the drivers are, to some degree, working together so they could stay in front of the pack behind. But in this case, Simba, he did great in qualifying. He did all right off the race start, but after the first lap or two. But he's really struggled to fight his way through. His defense has been a bit weak. That looks like another P5 will be coming his way. Tier 1, we know VEL love P5. They've scored it in the past 3 races. Just P5 finishes. 30 points and 3 in Tier 1. Can VEL bring it together here? And maybe get another P5 and get another 10 points. E69 gets a penalty. Unite Vega also has a penalty as well, same as Pavanir and Daniel. E69's had a bit of a spin. He's going slow. I think that's the day done for him. Zwart as well. Zwart's done. And E69 also done. 2 drivers from AB both done in such few moments apart. Edward gets the 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Disappointment coming for ABE. Double DNF. Statler 17th. And Edward currently in 12th. Not much going their way. But SCT holding on to this 1-2. They've held it for about, 2-3 laps now. So they are holding on to this 1-2 quite nicely. But this is a nice thing around Silverstone. The minute you get that 1-2, you're in the clear. We've also seen, by the way, Anton. He's just about caught up with this. He's just about caught up with Simba. He's just lost a bit of time again. But he was within a second to Simba. So he has closed up slowly. Noticeably slowly, but it has been slow progress and it hasn't very much worked. Mono going into P10 ahead of Pavanir, and that's another position gain, and that's XPG, another point in the bag for them. Pretty much, I feel, to some degree, I kind of feel bad for XPG, because they've kind of been the team that's, whoa, fake Mono all over the place. So is also Pavanir. Pavanir into the wall. Both of these two struggling off of the exit of the final corner. Holy. Some real struggles going on there. Trusted, though. Makes his way up into the top 10. He's finally made it. But he's over 3.5 seconds behind P9. And I think he's not going to be scoring much more than 10 points unless he does an amazing strategy here today. But I must say, it has been a tough one, though, for XPG. They've kind of had a bit of a tough campaign. Their start to the campaign was a bit slow. Then they got it all together. But personally for me, I just feel like XPG have been kind of on their own. They're definitely mid-pack. They're definitely fighting mid-packs or maybe for a podium every so often. But they remind me of sort of like Aston Martin from 2020, like 3. Never fighting at the front. like right at the front for wins, but never fighting at the back. Same for 2024. I think XPG have kind of found themselves in an area where they seem to dominate and they seem to be best, but they have some rough races. They don't always turn up, and then they lose some points. But a lot of the time, they're sort of sitting in this about P7, sort of P6 to P8 position. They usually find one of their drivers, usually sitting about P7, I'd say. And scoring, of course, those notable 5 points, but it's always small points. But at the moment, XPG only one driver inside of the two drivers, inside of the top 10. But after the race would finish, currently it'd be one, and that would only be. But he would score a nice. If I'm correct, he'd score a nice. I think he'd score 5 points from it. So 3 points he'd score currently, but he'd score 5 from P7. So he would currently score a nice 5 points from P7. A nice comfortable 5 extra points to confirm XPG's third in the Constructors, and another trophy going their way. They won a trophy last season, if I'm correct, as well, in Season 2. I actually have a graphic for this, by the way. Yeah, so XPG did achieve second place in Tier 2 last season, by the way. That's what they were able to achieve, was second place in Tier 2. The teams actually here with trophies are ABE. My mic's a bit low. Wow, okay. I've never heard that. Okay. That should be a bit better. My apologies, Ethan. Yeah, I didn't think it was low. It's on its normal setting, so maybe I've knocked it or something. Who knows? But it should be fixed now. Hammy comes in. He's also retired. XPG out. Welcome, Ethan. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great day. 4th retirement of the night. It's getting quite a few drivers tiring. Quite a lot, I must say. Quite a lot of them. Interesting to see. Not a lot happening, though. Out in the top 6, because Anton's been able to join this group, but just solely on his own. But yeah, as I was saying, ABE, they've gotten 2 third places in Tier 1. XPG achieved second place in Tier 2 last season. That's actually it. So there's only 2 people who have a previous history of getting trophies in FRLT, and that's from Tier 1 and Tier 2 over the last season or 2. So it's not even been this season or last season. In Boars. So yeah, it's quite it's an interesting one though. I would say it's definitely an interesting one. Somebody's in the pits. That's Unite Vega in the pits. The track is definitely quite a bit quieter than when we started. Although I do feel like that is partly drivers getting focused. And, the fact that we are now midway through this race, we have just surpassed, we're on currently the halfway mark of this race. Because we're getting a lot closer to the end, because if we've reached this midpoint where drivers are going to be coming into the pits soon, they've gone a bit safer, they want to get to the pits at least. But SET, the day that they needed to be dominant, they were, and the day that TTRE needed a good day, they've not really had it. Only 2 drivers inside top 10. To be fair to them, I will say this, to be fair to TTRE, they're not walking away with nothing. They're still walking away with 24 points at the end of the day, which is a decent chunk, which would nearly be about a third, be just under a third of, for instance, what VEL have scored this season in just a single race, by the way. And you can see Zero's trying to go for it, but SET, the front 2, working together incredibly well. They're not letting TTRE take the lead in any sort of way. And this is the control that exactly what TTRE didn't need. This is exactly, I think, what they would have been afraid about was this happening, basically. Was SET holding a 1-2 and TTRE unable to get past, And the worst part is Anton's also behind. They're in an SCT sandwich at the moment. 2 in front, 1 behind. So at the moment, I think TTRE are very much driving now for the podium. They're driving to try and get a win. At least go out with a bang to their season. We'll have to see because SCT are also in there. No LR. Yes, I know. No LR. But shorts. They didn't do. They didn't want to do fours. They only wanted to do tier 1. So that's them. But still, as this race goes on, it's interesting to see though that I'd say after round 5, TTRE were going to be clear champions, and with the next 4 races, they've not only weren't going to be clear champions, they were going to also struggle. And look at this, Zero's now going down the inside of Geekin, and I think, has that worked? Yes, it has, but you can see Geekin's heading into the pit, so is Simba, so is Case and White, they're all going in, and it's a good stop. They haven't sped into the pits, which is good, perfectly what they needed. What tyre is Geekin going to? Geekin's going to the softs. He feels like 11 laps on the softs is going to work. We're also seeing that for Case and White. I think it's because we saw a few of the other drivers going quite long. Mono in the pits. He's gotten a speeding penalty. So that is going to be a massive penalty against him. But look at this. Odonotix has already, by the way, gotten out of Sector 1 by the time his teammate Geekin's out of the pits. So it's quite a long pit lane. But look at this. Look at this. Unai Vega has gotten ahead of Simba and is now on the back of Case and White and his teammate Geekin. This is exactly the undercut that's needed. But he is going to get worn out on those soft tyres earlier, though. They've got to go 11 laps on these softs. It's quite a while to go. They'll be hoping maybe for a safety car. I think that's maybe what TTRE are hoping for, is a safety car. Save some tyres, but it's really going to be up to what they do over the next couple of laps, because the grid has got a little bit more spaced out now with the pit stops. But it is the front 2 Zeros, by the way, takes the lead of the race for the first time in about 10 laps. It's been a really long time. All of the top 3 go in, by the way, and that's actually going to be a nice double stop. Zeros gets a 10-second time penalty. So is Odonotix. Both of them getting 10-second time penalties for speeding in the pit lane. Oh my god, that is a fumble. Not only by Zeros, but also by Odonotix. But the one difference for Odonotix, I will say, the one nice thing he has is that his teammates have kept up with him. He's got all 3 teammates compared to Zeros, who only has 1 left, who has really only 1 that he can work with that will score points. Where are they going to come out? Has it been a good enough lap? It is. It has been. TTRE 1-2 as it stands. Geekin, though, trying to force his way past. He does force his way past the man of Zeros. Look at this. They're really going for it. It is real battling 3 wide, heading down the straight. And whoa! Massive moment there. Unai Vega also trying to get his way past Zeros. It's all out battle now. We've got side by side all over the place. This battling is going incredibly far, but this is going absolutely crazy. Geekin now chasing after the race lead of Case and White. Maybe it's all changed around. Maybe it's a commentator's curse, because it's all changed round. And now it's TTRE who lead from SCT. So maybe a little bit of changing around, a little bit of things happening. Who knows? It is still all going on. And now heading down into Stowe Corner. Look at that. It is Zeros who's trying to get past, but it's not worked. It has not worked at all for the man of Zeros. Not for now, because Unai Vega and Odonotix are trading positions. We've got a bit of lag going on. I'm not sure why we've got bits of lag happening. Could be just some drivers having some issues. Who knows? But Geekin coming around. Fending off Zeros. Even a 1-2 from TTRE would not currently be enough to win the constructors, I believe, because they would still score. They'd score. Whoa! And a massive moment. We're getting massive amounts of lag. I'm not sure whether it's a certain driver who's causing this. I have no clue because we're getting massive amounts of lag all of a sudden. I have no clue why. Just gonna close a few things. My apologies for the pause. I'm just closing a few things that might be open that might be causing the lag. Just so my PC can run a little bit better. Yeah, this has changed around. Look at this. Kason White, now all off on his own, leading this race. Geekin gets past for P2. But still as it stands, SCT would finish P2, P3, P3, and I think P5 in all of this. So still, still SCT would still win the championship. But even if TTRE were to finish 1-2 and score, of course, the massive, I think it would be 18 points for first and then 15. Even if they were to score the 33 points in this race, SCT would still get 13 from third. They'd then still get at least a fourth place, so another 11, so 24. So already 9 points, the 9 points needed, but it'd be extra points as well from Odonautics and also Unai Vega. I think Unai Vega would also add in there. Statley, Pavanir, both coming in and retiring. Lots of retirements happening. Is Mono going to also retire? Who knows? We'll have to figure out whether he's going to retire as well. Lots of retirements. Lots of drivers unhappy with how their race has gone. 6 drivers so far retired. Disappointing to see so many retiring. 3 ABE drivers as well. VEL, Pavanir. Pretty much almost every single team has suffered a loss so far. But who knows who's going to finish where. We're down to the final 8 laps remaining. We've got 8 more laps to go. It's all going to come down to this now. The gap's starting to build a bit. But now, Geekin and Anton would finish at least P2 and P3 as it stands. So, still a solid... I think it would be a solid P3 and P4. It'd be a solid 24 points coming from those two. So just 9 points would be what... They'd gain that 10 points that they need, by the way. But with the other point scorers of Unai Vega, who would currently finish in 9th, and Odonautics, they would just about win the race. By the way, they'd just about win the title. So it really is coming down to the end. Geekin's struggling on the soft tyres quite a bit. He's not as fast as Zeros or Kason White, but as long as he can keep up, that's the main thing. Same for Anton as well, because TTRE is starting to pull away a little bit too much, I think, for Geekin's liking very much at the moment. They're starting to pull a little bit too much away, but he's really done well through Maggots and Beckett's. Incredible Maggots and Beckett's, I must say, from Geekin. It's actually keeping him in the fight, by the way. It's very much keeping him in this fight for the win. If he could get past Kason White, that would be a solid victory and pretty much confirm the title. But at the moment, it's still on edge for who has won the title and who hasn't. I said how it looked like it was going to be an easy night. Odonautics has not helped himself with that being an easy night. Trusted going down a few places, by the way, down to 12th. That now rules him out of the points. As it stands, he would currently finish 11th. He's really not helping his day now. It's dropped another point, so instead of 34, they are back down to 33. But in the end, 10-second time penalty, most likely we'd see him drop down to about 8th in this race. Probably about 7th, so down to 5 points. So they're going to lose a huge chunk of points. But Odonautics is probably about 7 points. So dropping from 18 to 7. So they're going to drop about 11 points. So most likely, it's going to be a season to lose for TTRE, a race to lose as it stands, because Geekin has just about caught up to the front too. It is all working his way as it stands. So all going his way and going to SCT's way. Let's see what's going to happen. Look at this. Geekin around the outside. He's trying to make the move work. He's gone off track a bit. Gone a little bit off track there. Got to be careful with what he does. Geekin can't overrun it too many times like that. He's got to be careful now. He's got only 5 more laps of this race to go. He really wants to win, and really, SCT need to win to at least confirm that they've wrapped up the title. Because, of course, remember, it's an extra 5 points SCT would score from getting a win compared to third. So it's that extra 5 points they're really looking for to at least help themselves a bit. We know Geekin will, at the moment, at least finish second in this race. Unless he gets a 10-second time penalty, he'll at least finish second. Teammate Anton finishing third. It's all really going to come down to this. It's really coming down to the last couple of laps here. I thought SCT had wrapped up the title before the pit stops, but I guess I was wrong. And it really is going to come down to having a look at the standings post-race and making sure everything is sorted. But Geekin coming round, what can he do to make this race go? What can Geekin do to win the title? Because it could really come down to him. We know that there's been a few moments between SCT and TTRE in this race. Penalties could be applied, post-race penalties. So for Geekin, really achieving these extra 5 points is going to be a thing that's really needed. He's really letting... I think he's waiting for TTRE to make a mistake out front, which I think would be an interesting moment to see between Geekin and the front two. Of course, SCT would love... Of course, TTRE would love to take another win this season. So would SCT. They'd love to take their own win this season as well in Silverstone. But we'll have to see. I think Geekin's sitting in an interesting position here because he's stuck, in my opinion. He's very much stuck. He can't seem to gain enough to get past Kaysen at the moment, but his teammate, by the way, Anton's just got him within a second as well. He's just within a second. He's just sitting on that second right now. So maybe Anton, maybe in the final few laps, will be able to join the battle for position. We know at the moment Trusted is really sort of currently looking himself outside of the points, so that extra point will not help TTRE. But look at Geekin. He's all the way up on the back of this battle. Is he going to send it into the chicane? He's really making the TTRE drivers question who should be leading here, who should be following. And Kaysen White's coming under quite a bit of an assault here. Have TTRE pushed too early? By the way, now Trusted will definitely score points because of the penalty Tagier just got. But look at this. Down the inside, Geekin goes. He thinks this is the time to make the move. Bit of contact between him and Kaysen White into the next part of Village. It's a massive moment from Kaysen White. It's a massive mistake. That's going to drop him behind not only the man of Geekin. He might also drop behind Anton as well at the same time. Is it going to happen? Who knows? But Geekin's now up into provisional race-winning position while Kaysen White tries to stable himself out and try to get going again. But this is massive disappointment for TTRE because they're coming out of the winning chance just for now. There's 4 laps remaining, about 3.5 now, only 3.5 laps left of this race. It's gone very quickly, I must say. This race has been incredibly quick. But it is going by. It might be going by quickly, but this race is pushing Geekin, following behind. He wants to take the lead of this race and completely take it out of the hands of TTRE. There he goes, into the lead of tonight's race. And that mistake from Kaysen White, getting caught off guard there. He was just sleeping a bit in his defense against Geekin. I think, very much as a driver, you can almost feel when somebody's going to go for it. You can feel to some degree that there's going to be a move happening very soon. 3 laps of the race left now to go. The corners, the meters, the laps are all counting down. And there's not a lot at the moment that Kason White can do because he's got his teammate in the way as well, who will probably try to move out of the way. But for Geekin, it's all about making this home run, this final last stretch of the race, the final 3 laps. Down the Wellington Straight, his teammate's not going to get him. Coming through here. This is the interesting thing now. Will Geekin let Zeros past at any point, or is he going to try and pull off into the lead further? Because I think he's got the tyre advantage over Zeros and Kason White right now. And I think Anton also has the same thing. I think the SCT drives a little bit of the advantage there. You can see Odonautics at the moment would currently sit in P7. He is going to drop down to P7 as it stands. Zeros would be P6. But it looks like SCT are on for the Constructors' Championship victory. It looks like they're on for it. It looks like the victory will be falling into SCT's hands out of the final race. An incredibly close end. We might even be able to get an interview from Geekin himself. Down into the next chicane. Kason White is under attack. He's been under attack. And now he's lost third to the man of Anton. It currently will be a 1-2 for the team of SCT. 2 laps now to go. The final 2 laps of 4s in season number 3. Final 2 laps. By the way, after this, all stats and everything will be released post-race on Twitter, probably. On Twitter and in the Discord server. Make sure to join us. To join the Discord server if you want to. The link is down below in the description, so make sure to go and check that out. But it is all going to come down to these final 2 laps. I can't believe it is the final 2 laps in 4s. We've gone through so many laps, hundreds of laps. Ozonotics now trying to make his move past Kason White. Kason White really struggling to keep his car together. It's absolutely all falling apart. This is not going the man of Kason White's way in any way, shape or form. See, he is fighting to keep in this race win at the moment. I don't think he is. I don't think he is in the chance for a race win. But because he's got 2 SCT cars in front of him to battle with. But Geekin, he's been the man to lead most of this race. He's been absolutely outstanding for most of tonight's race. Into Stowe Corner, side by side. Might be the final proper opportunity that Zeros will have at the race win. Zeros not able to do it. They're going to go almost 3 wide into the final chicane. Geekin leads away. He might also hold on to some DRS down the Wellington Straight. Odonautics, by the way, past Kason White, who has made another mistake in the final few laps. Down to 5th goes Kason. He will finish 3rd at the end of it, but he'll have to watch an SCT 1-2. That's going to be all disappointing. By the way, I do just want to say, we've not had a 1-2-3-4 this season. Only, I believe it's AERO in Season 2 in the opening race were the only team to do that. Still the only team to do that. No other has done that. But you can see Geekin using this Ferrari, this ghosted and lapped Ferrari, or fake mono at the moment, to almost help himself to some DRS to save himself from Zeros. He's working well here, strangely, with a ghosted Ferrari. And it's an interesting thing to see happen. But who's going to now take the lead? Who's going to cross the line in first? You can see Anton sitting there as well, ready to defend his teammate. Everything is going to come down. Final few corners left. He's gone a little bit wide from Geekin. It's not everything he'd want. But heading down now. The hanger straight for the final time. Final time that these drivers will have DRS into Stowe corner. Oh, it's contact between teammates. What were they doing? It's contact between SCT teammates into the final chicane though. It will still be Geekin who wins. Anton loses a place though to Kason. Across the line, it will be Geekin who wins the final race of FRLT 4s in Season 3, Round 9 at Silverstone. And I believe, by my count, the Constructors' Champion will be, if I'm correct, it will be SCT. I'll quickly add this up. Very quickly I'll add this up for you guys because I want to figure it out. I'll figure this out in the next minute or so. as soon as I can get the standings up for this. Let's figure this out. They got 18, then okay, that's for them. Hang on, figuring it out. Yep, it's SCT's constructors. SCT are the constructors champions. They're the constructors champion. That's it. Absolutely no words. No words at all. SET are your constructors champions. Absolute chaos. Let's go through the order of the grid. Geekin wins from pole, followed by Kason White, Anton, Simba, Zeros, Odinotix, Manolo, Unai Vega, The Hammer Time, and Trusted, who finishes 10th, who actually started 10th as well. Daniel finishes 11th, Tagir 12th, Edward 13th, and Fake in last. All the retirees are Statlev, Pavanir, Hammy, Unknown, E69, and Snipes. But by the way, with Simba's P4, officially they've also achieved 4th in the constructors, 4th VEL. That's that, guys. Where is LR? There's no LR. CPI Max, there is no LR to disappoint you. They were not here for 4s. They only wanted to do tier 1. But maybe next season, we'll see. But let's just go through the standings one last time. SET are now your constructors champions, followed by TTRE second. XPG confirmed third, while VL move up to, at the moment, 4th, without post-race penalties at the moment. There might be some post-race, we'll have to find out then. But ultimately, guys, it's the final time in 4s this season that I'll be saying this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have actually had an absolutely amazing time. It's been great. Absolutely no clue. I don't even know what to say. It's been an absolutely amazing season. Absolutely amazing 9 races we've had. Well done to SET on the Constructors' Championship. Of course, on Wednesday we found AMS became the Tier 1 champions, back-to-back champions, and so did AMS Asoy. He became the back-to-back Drivers' Champion, Season 2 and 3. No words, absolutely at all. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've had an absolutely amazing time. And I hope to see you again for 4s in season number 4. I hope you have a great day, great week. Please think about leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Also click on the notification bell to know about all of the content we do here from videos, shorts and streams. The final race will be on Wednesday at 8 PM for Tier 1, round number 10 at Belgium as the finale. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Also, big thanks to SimRacing Centre for being our affiliate. This link is down below. Ultimately, thank you guys so much. I'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye.